This is an RNZ podcast.
Bonjour mes amis, je m'appelle Ben Strang. You're listening to RNZ's Paris Essentials podcast. But you can call us the Pod de Triomphe, Le Pod de Triomphe. We are the Victory podcast today. Dame Lisa Carrington with her 7th Olympic gold medal. 7. And it could be 8 tomorrow. 7th Olympic gold. She wins the K2 500 metre race with Alicia Hoskin. Their second gold medals of the Games after they were both part of the winning K4 team yesterday. What a performance. What a dominant performance. They were a full boat length clear coming across the line ahead of Hungary and Germany. Just brilliant. Absolutely superb. So Dame Lisa, another gold medal. Alicia Hoskin also at the double. Wonderful stuff. And then this morning, Maddi Wesche wins silver in the shot put. Quite a surprise performance this. We knew she was good. She burst onto the scene at the Tokyo Olympics when Valerie Adams was there as well. Was very, very impressive with those sunglasses. We all remember the sunglasses. And she turns up in this final in her 5th throw, a personal best, and she was superb as well. So close to taking a gold, but a really good performance to take silver. One to watch out for going forward, Lydia Ko. She is tied for the lead heading into the final round of the golf tournament tonight. That is one to watch. She has already won silver at Rio and bronze at Tokyo. Can she complete the set? Gosh, that would be incredible if she could. Three medals in 3 games would be outrageous in a sport like golf. So here's hoping Lydia Ko can continue. Now, we don't have any audio of Lisa Carrington and Alicia Hoskin. They didn't do media after the victory. Dame Lisa's saving herself for the K1 tonight. So, unfortunately, we didn't get to hear from Lisa Carrington after the victory or Alicia Hoskin. But we did hear from Maddi Wesche after her silver medal win at the athletics. So here is Dana Johansson and the New Zealand Media Pack talking to Maddi Wesche.
Feeling pretty good. I've seen my mum, I've seen my family and my grandparents and my coach. It's starting to set in a little bit more. Yeah, and I'm just still really happy.
I guess nothing grounds you more like having to go to doping.
Yeah, definitely. Having to pee in front of a stranger and then do some bloods definitely calms you down a little bit, gets the heart rate normal.
Yeah. So just reflecting on that amazing competition, you look so cool, calm and collected out there. How are you feeling under the surface?
Still the same. Yeah, a little bit of nerves going into that 5th throw and then being able to produce that PB throw it felt good, and then I just couldn't grab that last one in the 6th throw.
It's so rare to do a personal best at the Olympic Games, let alone in that kind of precious situation. Like, do you feel really proud of what you have achieved out there?
Definitely proud. These are the moments that I live for and why I love competing, and shot put is a little bit different, and I'm glad I stuck with it, and I'm so happy to be here and have my family here and my team here. They took time out of their lives to come and watch me throw a medal ball around in a circle. So I'm just super chuffed.
Well, you put in a pretty good show for them.
Yeah.
Coming into this event, like you kind of flew under the radar a little bit. You didn't really feature in a lot of people's podium predictions. Like, was this a surprise to you, or did you always feel like you're capable of this?
I always thought I was capable. Being in practice and going through the motions, and this is what we had been training for, and yeah, I kind of like going under the radar a little bit. Nobody probably expected me to medal, let alone be probably in the top 8, so I'll cruise by in most of the comps now.
And just finally, how do you think it's going to feel tomorrow when you're standing on that podium?
Good. I think the body might be a little bit sore from all the walking and the competing, but I'm super proud of myself, and maybe a few tears will come out.
And that was Maddi Wesche talking to New Zealand media outside the Stade de France this morning. What a fantastic performance from Maddi Wesche. One to watch for the future as well. She's not done. I think she can only improve as well from here. She is a superb athlete. So fantastic news from the athletics. Dana Johansson was there. She was watching. I think it all came as a surprise to her. She's done a lot of reporting over these games and seen some pretty awesome events. this is right up there. She talked to Susie Ferguson on Saturday morning about the atmosphere and, of course, about the kayaking win.
When we came into this meet, this track and field meet at Stade de France, like we were sort of all looking at the kind of established names like Tom Walsh and Hamish Kerr as potential being medal winners there. And the other big name we were looking out for is Zoe Hobbs in the 100 metres. So Maddi Wesche wasn't one that sort of flew on the medal podium radar, but she just pulled out the competition of her life here today. She hit a PB in her fifth round throw. It was kind of a seesawing battle between her and the German competitor, and unfortunately the German just managed to get there with her sixth round throw, but stunning performance from Maddi Wesche. As I said, a personal best in her fifth round throw in an Olympic final. What more could you ask for?
Quite an extraordinary legacy as well, of course, with New Zealand in this particular event. I think it's now 5 Olympics running that New Zealand's had a competitor on the podium in the women's shot put. What dominance? What's behind it?
That's right, yes, of course. Dame Valerie Adams was so dominant for so long over her career, and then she steps out of the ring and in steps Maddi Wesche. We sort of talked to Maddi Wesche a little bit about that in the mix zone afterwards, and she said she's so proud to be part of this legacy of strong Pacifica women that have come out and dominated in this Olympic field. I think really Dame Valerie Adams, she really sort of blazed a trail, and she's sort of created this legacy for others to follow, and I think she's inspired a lot of young women out there.
What about some of the other events and, of course, competitors that are taking part? Dame Lisa Carrington adding yet another gold medal to her haul.
Oh, absolutely, and so dominant today in the K2 with Alicia Hoskin. That K4 race the other day, that was a bit tighter, but today that Kiwi pair just absolutely dominated. And you mentioned Dame Lisa's legacy there. That was her 7th Olympic medal, and yeah, it's possibly more to come. In fact, it looks like it could, with almost certainty, you could say there's more to come tomorrow with the K1 final. There's a big battle shaping up, though, between her and another Kiwi competitor, Amy Fisher. So that's been one of the compelling storylines of this games is the showdown in the K1 between 2 Kiwi women, and the potential for there to be 2 women on the same podium at Olympic Games. That would be a historic achievement.
Because the run-up to this Olympics has seen Dame Lisa, I think, coming second a couple of times, which is a bit of a surprise.
That's right, yes. Yes, so Amy Fisher, she has really challenged her in this single boat. She won the 2 World Cups leading into it by the narrowest of margins. They've had some incredible battles on the water, and everyone's hoping that we'll see the same sort of fine margins tomorrow. And I couldn't call which way it was going to go. Absolutely, you'd say Dame Lisa has the edge in these pressure situations, but Amy Fisher does hold the world's best time in this event, so if she can pull something out of the bag, it could be really special. It's
going to be an absolutely fascinating race, that one, to watch. Just, of course, finally, it is the closing weekend of the Olympic Games. After being there for the whole of the Olympics, what has it been like, and what is it like in Paris with these final events as it's all coming up to its sort of crowning achievement?
Yeah, I definitely think that some delirium is setting in, particularly among the media corps. We're currently all standing outside Stade de France waiting for Maddi Wesche to appear, playing theme songs to TV shows. We had Home and Away and then Baywatch. But I think Paris has just put on a real show. I was just saying to someone earlier, it's the glamour of the place. It's just it just sinks into your bones, and so the TV pictures have been amazing, and it's been even more incredible being here among these landmarks and seeing these events play out.
Any idea what is planned for the closing ceremony? Because of course the opening was really a mould breaker in terms of how to do the opening ceremony. What is coming up?
Yeah, I think a lot more traditional closing ceremony planned that will be back here at Stade de France on Sunday night. There's been a few rumours about, and I think a lot of people are now sort of wildly speculating on what could take place. At one point I heard that potentially Taylor Swift could be playing here in the closing ceremony, but possibly some more, I guess, less ambitious names might be. Apparently Tom Cruise, who's been seen around Paris a lot these games, he might play a role in the closing ceremony. Someone speculated, will he be doing Mission Impossible styles, abseiling down the side of the stadium? Of course, the next Olympic Games will be in LA in 2028, so we expect that sort of possibly a Hollywood theme to play out in the closing ceremony.
And that was Dana Johansson talking to Susie Ferguson on Saturday morning. Now, there's been some really interesting international stories happening in the last 24 hours. I just wanted to share a couple of them with you. Let's start with the breaking, because the breaking has finally started at the Olympics. It was always going to be fascinating to see how it goes. These break dancers, it's not break dancing. You're not cool if you call it break dancing. It's called breaking, folks. Now you're in the know. You know how to say it, what it is. But that said, watching on from home, people were pretty confused about the Australian breaker Rachel Gunn's performance. She's known as Ray Gunn. And she's an expert researcher on breaking. She works for Sydney's Macquarie University as a researcher in its creative arts department. Well, her performance, do you call it performance? Her effort was interesting, to say the least. She is all over social media for her effort. Look, I couldn't do what she was doing. Let's be clear, I don't think many people could. But when you compare it to the much younger athletes she was up against, it was not overly impressive, was it? So congratulations to her for being at an Olympic Games. It's just unfortunate that, a few people taking the mickey out of her, and I would encourage you to go and have a look at some videos of the performance, because it is a bit of a tough watch. But, like I say, congratulations to her for being an Olympian. Also overnight, Iman Khalif from Algeria has won gold in the boxing. This after her gender was questioned after a test in an IBA tournament last year. She was banned from the World Champs last year due to a failed gender test. She's not transgender. Let's be clear with that. That has been cleared. She was born a woman. No issue there. There may be some kind of condition she has. There's a few different medical things that can mean she tested positive for having XY chromosomes. But she's a woman. She's gone and won. She's not the perfect boxer. She's been beaten many times before. But of course, her entry and the IBA's antics has caused an absolute storm in the boxing. So this is one that will be interesting to watch over the next couple of days, because she has gone and won gold. There's a lot of misinformation out there. But I'll just reiterate what I said before. Wouldn't it be strange if Algeria was the centre of a trans debate in sport, when they put people in prison for being transgender and for being gay? Just think about that before you go off the long run thinking, a trans person's won this. She is not transgender. The other interesting story overnight is the men's 200-metre sprint. Letziel Tebogo of Botswana won the country's first Olympic gold medal by taking out the 200-metre sprint in Paris. He beat Noah Lyles, who had COVID, and he becomes the fifth fastest man in history. Now, he was wearing some shoes bearing his mother's date of birth. She died. She unfortunately died in May, so he was paying tribute to her. And how's this? The president of Botswana, Masisi, put out a statement. He says, "I wish to state that on behalf of all of the citizenry, I applaud Letziel and give thanks unceasingly to his late mother." It's a really nice touch from the president. He then goes on to say, this achievement is deserving of the nation to pause and celebrate him in the most unique, appropriate and responsible manner that will be etched into the annals of the history of the Republic. They're having a public holiday because Letziel Tebogo has won gold in the 200-metre sprint. What a way to mark Botswana's first ever gold medal. Letziel Tebogo Day is the new national holiday there. Fantastic for Botswana. Back home, staying in Paris, but closer to home, Chris Bishop is the sports minister here in New Zealand. He is over in Paris at the moment, catching up with athletes and sports organisations. He caught up with Midday Report's Charlotte Cook while over there, and this is quite interesting. He said being over there, he now wants to work hard to bring more major events to New Zealand, including athletics events. They're very much considering the Commonwealth Games in the future. This is a really interesting chat. Have a listen.
There's a lot of Kiwis here in Paris, and everyone is, all the Kiwis here are backing the New Zealanders extremely hard, and it's amazing. It's an incredibly friendly Olympics, so Parisians and the French generally are really coming out in droves to support the Olympics, but the support here for New Zealand is truly unreal. I think people probably back home underestimate the appeal of New Zealand and France, the historical and the cultural connection between France and New Zealand. So literally almost every hour people are walking up to me and other New Zealanders in the street and saying, oh, Nouvelle-Zélande, we love the All Blacks, we love New Zealand. It's pretty phenomenal, to be honest. So, as in many sports, I think for many people here, if they're supporting their home country, obviously, but their second country is, almost always New Zealand. So, just at the kayaking this afternoon or this morning, talking to a lot of people, they were saying, "Oh, well, I'm supporting Germany or Poland or Hungary or whoever, but if they don't win, then I really want New Zealand to win." So, and our Kiwi athletes are really doing an amazing job on the world stage. They're carrying themselves with such grace and poise, really determined, fair play, good spirits, all the things that New Zealanders are renowned for. So couldn't be prouder of them.
It's a pretty excellent role for you as the Minister of Sport, really. But what is included in that role? Are you having to do any sort of official duties?
Yeah, so hosted an event this morning at New Zealand House in Paris. So the New Zealand Olympic Committee has set up this amazing facility on the Champs-Elysees, actually, which is like a home for the New Zealand Olympic community, the friends and family and supporters of the athletes. So we hosted an event there this morning with the New Zealand High Commission and the New Zealand Embassy in Paris, had a range of New Zealand exporters there, range of French government representatives and Paris municipal local government representatives as well, to just try and build New Zealand's prestige and rapport in Paris and France. So a range of New Zealand exporters there to try and build those relationships into France. So there's a bit of diplomatic and sort of trade events on the side of the sporting events, and look, it's a major opportunity for New Zealand's profile in France and continuing to build that relationship. So a bit of watching sport, but there's also a bit of work on the side as well, obviously.
And when it comes to, you're watching this sport, you're going to come home, is this giving you any sort of plans to boost sport funding or perhaps making an Olympic bid for the future?
I think the Olympics is a step too far for New Zealand. It'd be a major undertaking. The Commonwealth Games, there's been a bit of discussion around that. Obviously, with the pulling out of Victoria for 2026, there's a vacancy for 2026, and obviously New Zealand's not going to host in 2026, but they don't have any hosts lined up for 2030 or 2034. So, and there are cities in New Zealand that have previously expressed interest in that, like Christchurch, for example. So there'll be discussions around that as we go forward. So I think the Olympics is a step too far. I am meeting with Lord Seb Coe from the International Athletics Federation over the next couple of days while I'm here to talk about bringing more athletics events to New Zealand. That's another thing that I'll be doing over the next couple of days. So we are generally keen to host major events in New Zealand and to host sporting events in New Zealand. There's a lot of benefits and upsides to New Zealand doing that. So we'll be talking to international counterparts about doing that. One of the things we'll be looking at over the next few years is high performance funding. The government invests a considerable amount every year in funding our elite athletes. We've actually just put a recently put a bit more money into high performance sport, and it's tight fiscal conditions and tight times, obviously, but I think most New Zealanders recognise the benefit of seeing New Zealanders on the world stage doing the country proud and competing against the very best and winning gold medals. And the great news is that they're doing that in spades at the moment, which is fantastic.
We're certainly very proud of them. What have you got lined up for primetime watching this weekend?
So there's a few more events to go. There's some more kayaking. Obviously, everyone's eagerly awaiting the race of the century between Amy and Lisa in their race. And there's some more cycling still to go as well. And we've got high hopes for Lydia Ko in the golf as well. She's sitting pretty good at the moment with a bit of time to go. So there's still some medals to be won, and most importantly, it's just New Zealanders representing the country on the world stage and doing us proud. And then obviously the closing ceremony. So still a few days to go, and looking forward to it.
If you were going to compete at the Olympics, what would be your chosen sport?
I love the swimming. I haven't got to see any of it, but I grew up really enjoying swimming and doing a bit of swimming myself. So 200 metres freestyle. I think most people remember Danny and Loader, 1996. I was 13. He was like a hero to me. So if I could come back and win any event, 200 metres freestyle, that would be amazing. It's highly unlikely to ever happen. I think let's put it down at a 0.0001% chance. But so there you go.
And that was Chris Bishop talking to Charlotte Cook on Midday Report. Well, a big evening of events coming up tonight, a really big evening. It could be, and probably will be, New Zealand's biggest evening of the Games so far for many reasons. Firstly, let's start with the golf. Lydia Ko is in first place and is fighting for the gold medal in the women's golf tournament, the fourth and final round. She will start probably around 9 p.m, just after 9 p.m. I think the women's golf is underway from 7 p.m, but she'll be in the final group. So Lydia Ko, one to watch overnight. The canoe sprint, this is the showdown that we've been waiting for. Amy Fisher versus Lisa Carrington in the K1 500 metres. The semi-final is at 8:30 p.m. with Amy Fisher, 8:34 for Lisa Carrington. And then the gold medal race where they could finish or should finish in a 1-2 finish. Which way around it goes, who knows, 11 p.m. tonight. So make sure you're watching that. That is a must-watch if you're a New Zealand sports fan. Overnight, after midnight, the track cycling, the women's sprint, Elise Andrews continues in the quarterfinals from 3 a.m. I think Sian Fulton is also on the repechage, so she has a chance. That is from about 3:50 a.m. The men's Kieran, Sam Dakin, is in the first round heats at 3:19 a.m. If he needs the repechage, that's at 5:21. The men's Madison final, Aaron Gate and Campbell Stewart at 3:59 a.m. I tell you what, folks, I said it yesterday, the Madison is well worth watching. And Aaron Gate and Campbell Stewart, they're a sneaky good chance in this race, I think. So definitely worth a watch if you want to set that 4 a.m. alarm. And then in the athletics, the men's high jump final, Hamish Kerr from 5:10 a.m. Another very strong medal chance. He's one of the world's best at the moment. He's ranked first in the world. So Hamish Kerr, if he can put in a good performance at 5:10 a.m., who knows how far he could go. In the artistic swimming, the women's duet free routine, Nina Brown and Eva Morris from 5:30 a.m. And the weightlifting, the men's 102 kg plus final, David Leety, is on from 6:30 a.m. tomorrow. There's a heck of a lot to watch, isn't there? I will be wanting to watch the golf. I'll be wanting to watch Lisa Carrington. I'll be wanting to watch the cycling Madison final. I'll be wanting to watch Hamish Kerr. I mean, I guess I just won't be sleeping tonight. It'll be an all-nighter. Join me for an all-nighter. And then I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Paris Essentials. I might be a bit croaky, because how can you not be if you're staying up all night watching all of this amazing Olympic action? It'll be an incredible episode tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. We should have some gold in there. So make sure you join me tomorrow for the next episode of Paris Essentials. They've been dropping tous les jours every day at 11 a.m. during the Olympic Games. Only a couple of days left, so make sure you stick with us. I'll be sticking with you as well. You can listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Until tomorrow on Le Pod de Triomphe. À demain. Au revoir.